So the first thing we get into is the baby.
Yeah,
This is a touchy topic.
I try to stay far away from this community because
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, this is deep because there's a lot of things you could say about this. Like,
Yeah.
because it just goes into a lot of different baskets. Like, you talk about the root of the issue, which is, it's funny. I saw a clip too. I think I forgot to show you, but there was a clip of Kanye years ago telling rappers to stop doing this.
Oh yeah, attacking gay people.
And it's just funny that like nobody is only surfaced on Kanye fan pages. I'm surprised it didn't resurface anywhere else because I'm like, Kanye been telling people to stop doing this and how he thinks is whack.
It's always interesting because this is a deep topic, but I'll try to remember to knock out every aspect of this whole thing.
Yeah, because there's a lot you could go into so much about like how the community kind of, you say one thing and that's it, but every other thing that the baby has said, nothing.
Yeah.
No implications, nothing.
I'm gonna just talk about. So you just brought the Kanye thing.
Yeah, we can talk about that first, like just the basis of what he said and how it was wrong. And random.
I think that's the biggest thing. I don't know what he was trying to do. I don't know what he was going for because I didn't, when I first saw the backlash, I saw that there was backlash, but I wasn't really understanding.
I didn't really care too when it first happened. I was just like, oh, he probably didn't say nothing crazy until I watched it and I was like, that was kind of wild.
I don't know what he was going for. I don't know what he was trying to prove, what he was trying to say. So it was just like all around, just in general, aside from it offending people, it was just nuts. Like I don't even know.
It's just random. Like why is that on your mind? What happened?
Yeah,
like,
what happened that he came? Maybe something did happen.
Yeah, maybe he had like.
But even still,
issues with somebody in the community, but so random. Like you're Rolling Loud. A lot of people don't get that opportunity. You're Rolling Loud, and that's like the first thing you say when you come out on stage.
I don't know what he was going for, what he was trying to say, what he was trying to prove. So aside, like it was just nuts.
And it's just like a deep rooted issue, like not within the rap community, but just like I feel like in the Black community in general, especially Black men. Like I don't know where the huge disdain comes from. Like we saw this, I think in the last podcast about Lil Nas X. Like I just feel like if it's not affecting you, why do you care? It's just weird, and they try to use the excuse that they got kids, and that's why they care. It's like,
I think that I don't know, honestly. Like in the, I think it's so deep rooted because you talk about because he said something about AIDS. I'm not gonna really repeat directly what he said, but he said something about AIDS. I think that
that's a sensitive topic.
It's a sensitive topic, especially because of how that impacted our community specifically. Like when it became like a epidemic.
In the 80s. And I think that a lot of Black people blame the gay people for bringing it into, which we don't even realize that it might be a deeper thing. Like, you know how they always say the government administered AIDS? Like, I don't know. We shouldn't, like, it's kind of crazy. Like, it's almost like it worked. Like, what they wanted to do worked, like, kind of get rid of us. And we don't want to really get into conspiracies in this episode, but kind of get rid of us and also cause a divide within our community.
Yeah, so I think that's one. And then you have people that, you have like his parents. I'm not familiar with his family or his parents or anything, how old they are, but I would imagine that based on his age back then, he would have been growing up like maybe after that or like I don't know how old.
How old is he? He has to be a little older than us. I don't think he's in his 30s yet, right?
Yeah, I just imagine because so much of racism and hatred and things like that are so taught from people's parents. So I just wonder like
what generation he was
like
in.
if he was growing up like that was taught. Like,
and is he from the South? Do you know?
He's from Charlotte.
And that's definitely a Southern thing too. Like there's so much more like old fashioned down there.
He's 29.
Oh, he's 29. So he's only 4 years old.
But even still, because when I remember this, and I don't know why this stuck with me, but I was in sex ed in high school, and he was my gym teacher too at the same time. But like I remember one time he was talking about AIDS, and he just got so mad, like he started raging randomly out of nowhere, and just talking about it. And it's like I think that during that time, it was just so
it was affecting
crazy.
so many people.
It was killing so many people. Like people always talk about the Magic Johnson thing, like where they were when they heard that news.
Yeah, it's like how COVID is now. So that was like their COVID. Like, yeah. So, I mean, I get it, but at the same time, it's like I feel like I don't know. The anger is misdirected. Because my whole thing is if you want to blame the gay community for it, how are straight people getting it anyway then? If it's the gay people's fault, that means as a straight person you're messing with gay people, so you're blaming them for spreading it. But I guess I don't know. Maybe just like there was like closeted people that they didn't realize were gay that were getting it. Yeah,
because I've
or like people like husbands cheating on their wives. And,
Then it gets messy. It gets crazy. But that's why when I first heard him, so my first reaction was, okay, he said something about AIDS. What's with the uproar? Because I didn't like for me in my mindset, I don't attribute that to gay people.
Yeah,
like that's not my first process.
Me neither. I think it's like it's everybody now.
Yeah, so that's why I was like. I was confused. I'm like, so why are gay people offended? And then
I mean, it was a big thing for a while though that it was.
It was, but I'm not like
our generation is kind of
like I didn't grow up in that. Yeah, so my mindset was different. So I don't attribute that to that group of people. So when he said at first when he said that, I was like, okay, I don't get the outrage. But then I saw the other clip, and I was like, oh yeah, he had some agenda.
Something happened.
And it's like,
but it's just weird. Like I just want to know what the mentality is. Like why?
What was he going for? Like what happened? Like what? Like I need.
Like why is that your intro? Put your lighters in the air.
Like what? I that part I understood because people do that at like the college parties we were at. Like put your hand, like they would say the most wild thing. They would say the most wild thing ever. If you're something, if you got $5, put your hand in the air. Like it's like, huh?
But that's still offensive though. Cause like you might have fans out there that got infected.
No, I know.
And are out there in the crowd
like did he not? He didn't think it through. Maybe he was too turned. Not trying to think of excuses, but I'm trying to think of reasoning. Like,
I'm wondering if he ever came to like, maybe I shouldn't have said that after the fact.
Probably not, because his responses after that have not been apologetic or anything like that.
I don't like people like that too. No accountability. Like if you offended somebody, you offended somebody. Just apologize.
I think that, but he should apologize. I think he was more so responding to people like Dua Lipa and
like everybody coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, like like.
And that was like the next thing, like to dig deeper into that is like the outrage from it. Like, of course, everybody should have been outraged, but it just seemed like it was like over the top. Like everybody was like, he's done. He's can't. You had people come out like who was the one guy, that artist? Like he was. Oh my god, who was he? The one person who said something. Who was it? Somebody prominent said something. You like everybody's like, oh, you got him to speak. Who was it?
No idea.
Let me see if I can find it. The baby.
Yeah, but while you look for that, it's just like the whole cancel culture thing. It's like it was such a reach. Like Dua Lipa has done songs with people that have done and said wild things, and so it's
the baby has said wild things too before this.
Things. Like rappers, they say crazy stuff. Like even in the baby's hits, like the stuff that he's actually saying is like super vulgar and stuff like that. But it was okay to do a collab because he's likable and he's got a lot going on musically. Yeah.
And Dua Lipa, remember somebody said they brought up that she did a song with Pop Smoke. And Pop Smoke literally said something in the song. Yeah. About, I don't want to repeat it, but he's,
He don't mess with people because they're gay.
Yeah.
All on my page. Yeah.
Like, yeah. That's what it was with Elton John, by the way.
Elton John.
He said something. Madonna, like these really huge people were saying something. And that was just really weird to me because I feel like it's like all right, this seems like it's over the top, and like of course what he did was wrong, but it was just like it just seemed like there was an agenda, and like it seems like that's a lot when it comes to like black people. So that's like another issue I have because it's like okay, we should hold them accountable, but now you guys are doing the most. Like Elton John and Madonna got people who probably don't even know who the baby is. So now you're literally killing his career. Which I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, but
with them, it's definitely. So let me preface this by saying, not in any way, shape, or form am I defending his actions.
We're not defending him at all.
And not saying that, not trying to come to his defense with other people attacking him, but
it's just that you could see.
You could see it because, first of all, Madonna, I'm not rocking with Madonna at all. Anyway, just in general, like she don't do nothing for our community. I don't care about her comments about our culture, none of that stuff. Yeah. So Madonna could go. Elton John, I love Elton John, so that's legend. So
yeah, so it's kind of like
so it's a little bit different. But even still, when you have somebody like Elton John is not tapped into the black community like that at all. He's really not.
Yeah.
Like, so when you have these prominent legends in music, well, just in culture in general, these are cultural icons. Come out of nowhere to talk about the baby of all people, like some rapper from, like
especially at Rolling Loud. Like it's not like Rolling Loud was like a festival for everybody. Rolling Loud is literally a hip hop festival. Like this was literally just our community.
And now you have these people coming out from all different facets of life
Yeah.
now that have some commentary, as if like, where was everybody when Homeboy, remember I was telling you there was an announcer in MLB, and he was like, he thought it was a commercial break, and he said some
Oh,
like super homophobic stuff,
yeah.
and he didn't know he was on, like, where was
No,
the,
yeah,
where was,
exactly.
he's on national TV, like,
Yeah.
where was the hate train for that? Like,
And
where's
there's a lot of stuff like this too, like where people are saying stuff.
and of course, you know, his ethnicity was not black, so
Yeah. It's just weird. And like it's just like because like we're not like we say we're not excusing what the baby did. It's just that we feel like
what you do was
there
stupid.
is like you have to notice there is like an extreme reaction when it comes to certain people after they say stuff, and a lot of people get like a tap on the hand. Like it's just a lot of like weird stuff.
Yeah, but you know, I don't want it to come across as defending him, but
Yeah.
so I'm gonna end it with that part. But like
Yeah.
he it's just stupid. Like,
It's just dumb. At the end of the day, he should have said it.
I can't understand why he said that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I get what
That's
he was
the
going
bottom
for
line, because
again.
none of this would have happened if he just didn't
He
say
just shouldn't have
anything.
said
So
anything.
obviously he's still to blame.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's
it was just wild comments.
random.
Very random. And people need to like. Also, another thing would just Dua Lipa or just people in general. There's a lot of hypocrisy.
Yeah.
With things that people get outraged over versus what they don't, or people that they work with, or people that they associate themselves with. Some of them people do crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But then somebody does something, and then now you jump on the hate train and kill them.
A lot of times, too, stuff be happening behind the scenes too that you feel like you should speak up on and like publicly expose them. Like they probably see some crazy stuff.
Probably see horrible things.
There's a lot of like grooming and underage stuff. Like there's just a lot of weird stuff that be going on. I'm sure that they see, but then I don't know. I feel like she kind of went above and beyond. Like, oh, I'm taking it off my song. Like it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, but. Just, I think in general, I wanted to revisit what you said about Kanye talking about homophobia and the music
rappers.
industry. So I'm about to get really into it because, you know, fashion is my bag. So it's interesting because most of the designers that people wear are homosexual. So
that's actually a really good point. I didn't even think about that.
So killing gay people all the time.
But then wearing their designs and flexing about it.
And not only that, they make up a majority of fashion. It's not that there's not straight. I don't even know if that's politically correct anymore. I don't know anymore. But straight people, heterosexuals, we'll say that.
Yeah.
Heterosexual people, they don't make up much of fashion at all, to be honest.
Yeah, a lot of these people like.
And I don't want to name like homosexual designers because I don't know. It's a touchy subject, so you know I want to be sensitive. But most of the designs, and aside, even if you buy a designer that's not homosexual, they most likely got their inspiration or ideas from somebody that was. And when it comes to things like we can't generalize, but we can say that like that community is great at like dressing, interior designing, and architecture, everything.
They
They're very artistic.
A lot of slang comes from their community.
Yeah, it does.
Like they call it, like, you know how we have like African American vernacular English. There's also like another thing where it's like something specifically with their community, with black people, like black gays, their language, like the whole it's giving that came from their community, and a lot of straight people use that.
Yeah, and
thinking
I
that came
use
from
it.
Like it's funny, they be saying some funny stuff.
Their culture is it's like I don't even know what the word is. It's like the dancing, the music.
Like I could like appreciate it from afar and realize that they had like a huge impact on a lot of stuff.
On I would say everything.
Yeah, and they make up a lot of these rappers like a huge part of their fan base. Like a lot of these gay people like literally love their music. And it's just like wow. And
you can see a lot of like Nicki fans and stuff, and the passion behind
a lot
the things
of bars
that they care about.
Mm-hmm. And that's why people kind of look to see what Nicki did, because like, you know how a lot of artists, I guess, were unfollowing the baby, but Nicki still follows him, which I feel like that's fine because she still should have a mind of her own. Like you don't have to like, but I know how it looks. But I feel like I appreciate it about Nicki that she doesn't really care, and it's because she's still, I don't know. It's hard because it's like the bar is probably like, dang, like.
You know what the thing? I think that it's like a tough line because it's tough to determine the line between holding somebody accountable and running away from them the second something happens. Yeah,
because we all do stupid stuff. That's the funny thing about cancel culture. If every single person on this planet had their life broadcasted, they would be canceled for a lot of stuff. Like people be doing grimy stuff.
That's why you see
us regular people be doing grimy stuff, like
horrible
to people.
things.
But you're so quick to judge a celebrity. Like imagine all the homophobic stuff they probably say. A lot of stuff that, like even the whole pulling out people's tweets. I have some crazy tweets. Like, well, my account's suspended right now, but on my suspended account, I have some crazy tweets that I made when I was 12, 13 that was stupid. You know?
Oh
wait, 2011. I was like 15.
It's just like, man.
Yeah.
The canceling, there just needs to be like, maybe not defined rules, but there does need to be like hold people accountable, but it's not everything
it just
wrong
depends
that
on
somebody
how
does.
bad. Like, of course, like Bill Cosby, like that's different.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like if you're doing stuff that's like, all right, that wasn't a mistake. Like molestation, like messing with underage people, rape, that's not a mistake. That okay, you cancel somebody. Making comments that might just be dumb.
Depending on
what you said. Like obviously what he said was offensive, but it's not like he directly said like F the gays and blah blah blah. He just kinda like just made some like insensitive comments. But it's like, I don't know. Like you don't know what people are going through too. I'm not saying that's an excuse, but it's like you said, the whole canceling thing is kinda wild. Like you said it should be hold people accountable. And if they still not apologetic, then it's like, all right.
Well, I wasn't necessarily even talking about this situation, but just in general, because like, he did. It's not like he said one thing. Like he said back-to-back things, and it was like, all right, this feels like an attack to me. Yeah. Because it's like, what?
And obviously, the baby's just known for stuff too, so he kind of already just dug a hole.
Yeah, I just meant celebrities in general, like overall, a general conversation. Like we need to not do that to people because people do wild stuff, like horrible things to people, and just in general they just don't have the social media presence. That's why
they're just not exposed for it.
That's why you see all these people that like not randomly become popular, but they become let's say randomly or just like overnight seemingly they become popular. That's why you can go back to any of these people's tweets and they all have tweets that you can find. I see crazy I don't follow that many people, but I see crazy tweets retweeted on my timeline, all that kind of stuff. Like, if we want to keep it a stack, anybody's Twitter, you could probably go back, especially if you were on OG Twitter when it was crazy.
I know, like I was on Twitter since 2011, like
crazy tweets.
Like
you see,
that's 10 years ago. Next month,
we want to talk about like Tyler the Creator, for example, where he used to say like insane stuff. Like I still don't know if he did it for shock value.
That's the thing. We're all humans. We all have such stupid stuff.
But it's like, I mean, well, his stuff was nuts. Like,
I remember you showed me
crazy.
that.
Like super crazy. But like, today, he's like, he apologized to Selena Gomez and stuff like that because I don't know if he was doing that stuff for shock value or if he was just like, I don't know, because Eminem's done that with name dropping. The Game's done that with like name dropping and stuff like that. I don't know if that's what his
he
bag.
was doing too.
He was doing a lot.
Too much.
But so something like that, you should be held accountable for that. Even if
people are just so quick, like anything. They're canceled, and like that's like crazy. It's almost like people wait for something to cancel somebody. Like people are just so jealous. I feel like, and like they just they don't like to see people win. Like they'll love somebody in the beginning, and then a hate train comes.
Yeah, that's why.
And like it's just weird. It's so crazy to me.
Even though I don't condone in any way, shape, or form what he said, the one thing that I do, and I hate to say it, especially after what he said, but the one thing that I can appreciate in general, because this is a general conversation about celebrity and your celebrity and your status in society. What I do like that he said was that, like, I'm going to paraphrase it, but he was like, I'm here to be an icon. Like, you're not going to stop me, whatever. Yeah. Like, I do like that part of it because so many people try to like take anything and tear you down. Like,
and some people, it affects them probably. A lot of these celebrities, bad.
Like, I don't want to name people because I don't know if they're still going through it mentally. I had a name and I was going to say it, but I'm not going to say it. But people take anything. Like, you literally can't do anything. You could be the most successful person. Your music is like, everybody loves it. And then
people are still going to find something.
Like Kanye said, they love you, then they hate you, then they love you again.
But yeah, like even Charlie D'Amelio, like when the whole Black Lives Matter thing was prominent last May, like after George Floyd, it's like her and like a lot of other TikTokers, like people were looking to them to say something, and it's like they were 15, and I get you have a platform, but that's like another thing too. They see somebody with a platform, and they all of a sudden think they're like an activist. Like, okay, yeah, Charlie, she got a lot of her fame from dances created by Black people. So yeah, maybe she's, you know, could say something. But like you're expecting like 15-year-olds to be like activists and to be like spokespeople, and like a lot of people don't have that skill. Like the same way like how everybody was coming at A$AP Rocky for like, remember A$AP was like, I don't care. I think he worded it poorly. Remember he was like, I'm just here to make music and dress nice. Remember, wasn't he the one who said that? Yeah. Like, and I get that because it's like you didn't ask to be a freaking activist when you just wanted to make music, and now people look up to you all the time to speak on every problem. Like what was it that just went on, Palestine and Israel? A lot of these people are like, yeah, you should be making yourself aware of like, you should be making yourself aware of what's going on in the world and not be so like, you know, superficial or just like kind of, what's the word, like not tone deaf. What's the word if you're just like out of it? I don't know.
No,
I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, just like you should still be like in the know, yeah, aware of what's going on. Like, so I get that, but it's like that's another thing too that people nitpick about, like that celebrity should be spokesperson. Like
they really shouldn't. They
shouldn't, because that's not the skill that they have. Let the people who are activists and out there doing stuff for the community actively give them the clout for that. Like, why are we looking to celebrities do that when there's plenty of people out in the world that are doing like good things and like are really working hard and like really fighting for these causes? Give them the spotlight and the voice. Like, why are you looking to A$AP Rocky?
A$AP Rocky made fucking problems, and you want him to be,
and you want him to be up there like, yeah.
Like, stop looking to like, celebrities for social activism.
And then they'll use that to cancel them. Oh, A$AP, look what he said. He doesn't care about Black Lives Matter.
It's like, no, he made purple swag. He just doesn't want to.
He just doesn't want to be a spokesperson. That's not what he signed up to do. Just because he has a platform doesn't mean he's obligated to speak on things. Like,
but it's when people. It really is just people. Because I could go in forever. It's the convenience. Like, people will never say, because I say it, you agree with it. Some people that pay attention have said it, but Drake has never said anything about Black issues.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because that's the thing. And no one ever says anything because they be so riding on his meat. Riding on his meat. That's what they be doing.
Yeah, so. Like,
it's just so weird. Like, that's the thing I get annoyed to. It's very pick and choose who you want to be mad at. Like, it's so cool to love Drake that nobody's going to come at Drake. That's the thing, too. People wait for one person to have a problem with celebrity and let it be a train. But I'm sure that would never happen with Drake. People are just too obsessed with him. Like, it will never happen.
It'll probably never happen.
And he doesn't say anything. So it's like, it's just crazy. Because, like I said, I don't want to be a hypocrite and say that that's not what he signed up for. It's not. But it's just the fact that people be mad at kill some people, but don't say nothing about Drake. Drake has not said anything. Not even in music. Like,
not a tweet.
Nothing.
At least from what I've seen. I know for a fact he hasn't said it in music because I listen to all his stuff repeatedly, so I haven't heard a bar.
It's crazy.
And again, it's not required for artists to do that.
It's not. But if you're gonna be mad at A$AP, be mad at Drake.
Be mad at everybody. Be mad at everybody. Like, if you're a rapper and you don't talk about Black issues, be mad at everybody.
Yeah.
And most rappers don't.
Yeah. This is crazy. I can never be famous. I'm sorry. Because I would curse people out and call them broke. I'm sorry. Like, I would just be like, go get a job. Like, why do you worry about me? Go get a job. Like, don't listen to my music. I don't care. Don't listen to me no more. Like, don't let me be famous because.
You probably wouldn't be because you had that mindset.
I know.
People would get you out of here
I'm
too
too
quickly.
mean. I'll get canceled quick.
Yeah, they would delete you.
Because I just don't like stupid people. I don't like stupidity. And I'll just be so quick to call people out. I'll be like, thanks for supporting me. Damn.
But all in all, I mean, yeah, he should have never said those things, and it was stupid.
Yeah, that's the end of the day. Like, there are a lot of other issues to unpack, but the bottom line is, if you didn't say nothing at all, don't give people anything. And you know, like, that community, saying stuff about them is worse than saying stuff about Black people. Like, it's
worse than saying anything
about anybody. Even if you like offended the disabled community, I think the LGBTQ is still ahead of them.
Yeah, I would put them at the top.
It's probably both at the top again. So that's what Chris Brown said. Just give him the stage. Say thank you, and get off the stage. Like, yeah, and it sucks. I know you want to be yourself, but don't say something stupid.
I don't even know if I put disabled people at too, because people say all types of disabled people's like words and stuff like that.
Even like how you can't say the R word anymore now.
Yeah, and people say it all the time.
Yeah,
screaming
in music,
screaming it in the club.
Yeah,
and they don't get canceled for that. So, but you know, again, so all in all, he shouldn't have said it. Cancel culture.
And that's
stupid.
a whole nother conversation. Maybe we'll do that in a different podcast. Obviously, we don't want to take up time, but that is another conversation that I want to have about like the LGBTQ community and a lot of stuff that like the extreme hypersensitivity with them, but then like how, you know, you still got to hold them accountable. There's a lot of hypocrisy within their community and the things that they expect. But that's a whole nother conversation. Like that's nothing to do with them and offending them, but it's just as morals and principles. Like it has nothing to do with their sexuality. It's just some of the things that their mindsets are. It's kind of like I don't know, they put themselves on an extremely high pedestal sometimes. And like, you know, I'm not saying that it's wrong to want respect, but that's going to be a whole nother conversation. We got to have to go to a different, like that's going to take too long for this podcast. So.
Yeah, so all in all, everybody's stupid, and I hate everybody.
No, that's not.
Yeah, everybody's dumb.